about my trip to Tulum. Tulum, I don't know. But I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna find out right now. Tulum. Wait.
Before any of this, make sure you go like, subscribe, and comment what you liked about this video when you finish watching it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. If you want me to bring you more content, let me know what kind of videos you want. This is my first video, but we gotta go to it, so we have to get monetized. If I'm gonna bring you dope content, I gotta be getting paid for it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. So that I could get monetized. I need 1,000 followers and 4,000 and 4,000 watch hours. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So get on there. Start watching my videos, like, tell a friend, send it to your homegirl, send it to your
boy, because I'm about to tell you all about Tulum, Mexico. Maybe like $800 a person, $700 a person. It's the rainy season. It is hurricane season, so the prices are a little bit cheaper from Cancun to Tulum. So that's a 2-hour drive. We took a taxi, and the taxi cost $90 one way, so it was $180 both ways. There are a whole bunch of people in the airport, but we got our cab ride on Expedia, but you could get it in the airport as well. When you get to Cancun, you have to follow like COVID procedures. You have to fill out paperwork that tells you that you do not have COVID or you don't have any of the symptoms for COVID. And they make you fill out those papers before you go to Mexico. Like when you go through customs, it's like an extra set of paperwork that you have to fill out for COVID. We stayed in Core Adult Resort. It is one of the very few all-inclusive hotels in Tulum. If you like all-inclusive, you're gonna like it. I would suggest it if you're an all-inclusive person. Me personally, I'm not an all-inclusive girl, so it is what it is. All-inclusive is all-inclusive to me. But if you like all-inclusive, you would enjoy this hotel. There's no buffet style anything because of COVID, so everything is on the menu, but you can order as much as you want. The drinks were amazing at Core. They margaritas, frozen margaritas, pina coladas. The drinks were really, really good. The food was okay. The ambiance of the hotel, I think that it's a really nice hotel. I would say that maybe 20 years ago, I know it was the bomb. I know it was like the best hotel to stay in, maybe like 20 years ago. Some of the stuff is dated, but it was nice. And the amount of greenery they have on the hotel property, the amount of places for you to relax, the tranquility, the serenity is amazing. It is beautiful. So I'll put some photos right here so that you can see, but the ambiance of the place is beautiful. Great staff, and the best part about it was it did not have any children. It was no kids, because I feel like if I needed a break from my own child, I don't want to be around your snot-nosed kids. So that's what I really, really appreciated. It was maybe like 12 couples, maybe like the whole time I was there, I probably seen like 20 people on the resort. It wasn't a lot of people there at all, so everything was very spread out. We were able to really, really enjoy the resort. What did we do while we were there? We were there for a very short period of time. So the first day that we got there, we went to a beach club, Ziggy's, and we went to another beach club. I can't remember the name, but I definitely will put it right here. And both of them were the bomb, dope. I'll put photos. Both of them were really, really, really dope. One thing that I can tell you is that when you think about going out in Tulum, everything opens around in the morning, but then it closes around like 3 or 4 and then reopens for dinner. So if you're thinking about doing stuff, know that in between like the 3 to like 6 time period, there's not going to be much to do. So that's something that we got caught up in, but we still enjoyed ourselves. So that was the first day. The second day, we did an excursion. We went to back to Cancun, so we had to drive all the way back to Cancun to do a boat tour to Isla Mujeres from Cancun. Now, it was supposed to be snorkeling. booze cruise type of, you know, excursion. We got caught in a storm and I almost died. When we got to the snorkeling area, the guy that was Edgar, I think his name was, he was the person that was like the tour guide. He was hurrying up and pushing me in the water if I wanted to snorkel. And in hindsight, it was because the storm was coming. He wanted us to get a little bit of the snorkeling experience and then put us back on a boat, but that didn't happen. When they put us in the water, the storm came immediately and we couldn't see anything. So we couldn't see our boat. We couldn't see people that were around us. It was just me and then a tour guide person that was in the water with us, and maybe like 7 other people from our boat. Now, one of the things that they told us was, do not get on anybody else's boat. That was one of the rules. Like, whatever happens, remember the name of your boat and don't get on anybody else's boat. When all of the things was going on in the water, we couldn't see the boat. I started to panic. We saw a rescue boat, and the girls that were on my boat with me were like, no, we can't get on anybody else's boat. We can't get. I'm like, girl, you is fucking bugging. Get me on this rescue boat. So we ended up on a rescue boat, and then a rescue boat took us to our boat when we got back to the dock. The whole time I got this phone with me, and it's in a little plastic case. It's in a little plastic waterproof case. When I finally got to use my phone, my heart was beating out of my chest, and I'll show you that video. I really thought I was gonna die. I didn't know how long we would have to sit for the water kicking, or if we would ever be able to see a boat like that. That's what was running through my mind. But when we got back to the boat, we ended up going and eating and doing the rest of the excursion. It was fine. Ended up being a nice day. It was fine for what it was, but I got a story to tell. I almost fucking died. Day was when we relaxed in our hotel. It rained that morning. So we just ate, went to the pool, stuff like that. And then closer to the afternoon, I would say like 4 o'clock, we went to go finally take like the pictures that you take in Tulum. One thing that I never heard people say about Tulum is about the boutiques. If you are a bathing suit person, if you're a cover-up girl, and if you got a few dollars, please be ready to shop. The boutiques are beautiful. The most amazing handmade pieces that I've seen anywhere, but they are pricey. Pricey. One of my best pieces that I saw, and I put it right here, was $700 US. And I think that it's worth every bit of it. I just, don't have it. But if I did, and if you do, I think that you should take your money and purchase some pieces in Tulum. But anyway, yeah, I never heard nobody talk about that because I guess people like, oh, that's too rich for my blood. But I feel like I should be the person to tell you. I was with someone who's not a walker. They're not going to be walking through no dirt. They're not going to be, so we took taxis everywhere. The taxis are a complete, the taxis are crazy. So from what I gathered, I'm not sure if this is true, the taxis seem to have like a $15 minimum no matter what. Like when you get in the car, it's going to be at least $15. So it cost us $15 to get from our hotel to Mama Matcha, which was 3.5 miles. It also cost us $15 to get from Mama Matcha to Ahuao, which was about a half a mile away. Both was 15. So I think 15 is the minimum. Then one of the guys, we asked him, hey, can you just drop us to a couple of different places where we want to take photos? And his response was like, yeah. And he charged us $5 per stop. So we stopped at maybe like 6 or maybe like 5 different places we stopped at, and it was $5 per stop. So that cab ride alone was probably like $55 or maybe like $45 US. Now we only had cash US dollars with us. If we had had pesos, the stuff would have came out to a little bit cheaper because I know the exchange rate. But yeah, so our most expensive cab ride, and we were in, like I said, within a 1.5 mile radius, it cost us $55 that day. But we got to take pictures everywhere. So let's talk about Casa Malca. Casa Malca is one of the most famous photos that people take in Tulum. It's one of the places that everybody goes. It is Pablo Escobar's mansion that they turned into a hotel. So when we got to Casa Malca, it was about 4:30, and they informed us that it was too many people inside and that we needed to come back at 6:30 around dinner. So that means, so we had other things to do. So we were like, okay, we'll put our name on this list. But when we got, put our name on this list, and then we'll go and take the rest of the photos and come back. So we did that, and by the time we were done taking all our photos and, you know, eating stuff from the side of the road and all that stuff, it was only like 5:45, and we didn't want to wait till 6:30. That's a whole nother 45 minutes and blah, 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 blah. So we decided to go back to Casa Malca at about 5:45 and, you know, tell them to, you know, call the manager that we spoke to. The manager came out and was like, just let them in. Like, you know, it's just the two of them. You know, they came back, just let them in. We were like, yo, we can't wait here another 45 minutes. They let us in. Now, what we found out is that there's a $60 cover charge to get in Casa Malca, because the $60 that you pay at the door goes towards your drink. And it would have been $120 for both of us to get in. The lady just let us in for free. When we got in, the guy said to us, we don't really have a menu right now because we're on turnover time and nothing is prepared. But if you want to order a few drinks, we can make, you know, you could order drinks, but there's nothing else that's available to eat. So we were like, okay, because I'm going to get me to take pictures. So, okay. So when we got there, it's a hotel. So there are people out by the pool with their children, you know, relaxing in bathing suits, whatever, flip-flops. And then all the black people were like dressed to the nines and dressed really, really, really nice and taking pictures like all over it. So we were able to take our photos, get a few drinks, and then leave without having to pay the $60 cover charge. But I ended up spending like $100 on drinks anyway. So do I think that Casa Malca is worth it? Yeah, it's nice. It was cute. It's cool. But I do think that they said that they added the $60 cover charge for COVID because they have to protect their guests at their hotel, and I get that. But I really do think that it's a thing on the low, because the amount of people that I seen there dressed to the nines, dressed to the teeth, trying to get in and take photos, the amount of people that was inside there taking photos, I know they like, these people not going to just be walking in here taking photos and leaving. We got to do something. We got to, you know what I'm saying? Especially they in here dressed to the nines, coming in here, they got to spend something. So, about COVID and how they keep everything clean. In our hotel, every other room had a sign on it saying the room was not available. Every other table in the restaurant was not available. They also, in the resort, they also take your temperature no matter what. So when you sit down and eat breakfast, they take your temperature. If you go back to your room and come right back, they take your temperature again. The bosses who are excursion, they took temperature. When we got on the boat to do an excursion, they took our temperature. When we got to Isla Mujeres, you had to have your mask on as soon as you got off the boat. At the airport, they give you towelettes, Purell towelettes to wipe off your seat. They give you hand sanitizer. Our entire row is just us two for the entire plane, both ways. And I think there's no middle seat. I don't think the airline sells that. Is how they deal with COVID and the cleanliness of the hotel, the cleanliness of the plane, and how they have their protocols. They basically take your temperature everywhere you go. When we came back to New York from Mexico, customs was really chill. We were in Mexico. We had to tell them, of course, where we were and how long we were there, but we didn't have to quarantine. They didn't ask that we fill out any extra paperwork. We didn't have to report to New York City or whatever. We didn't have to do any of that. We went straight through customs and everything was fine. Before COVID, I had no interest in going to Tulum. But after going, it's someplace that I actually am going to put back on my list and go back to. Because if you are a person who likes to relax, Tulum is for you. If you want greenery, tranquility, serenity, relaxation, definitely. I just thought of Tulum as a place like, oh, that's where people go to Mexico if they want to, you know, live in a treehouse for a week or whatever, which is beautiful, but it's just like, I know, you know, whatever. But now that I've been there, I definitely want to go back.